fix some of the problems that you may have. So let's exit out of this, and one thing I do want to set up is authorization for these accounts. So I'm going to set up AAA authorization. This is basically saying what the user can do and what they can see once they actually log in. So I'm going to set authorization for the console, and I'm also going to set the exec for starting an exec or shell here, the default level to local. So that's essentially going to look at their username and their user account within the local database, and if you remember, the help desk and the controller positions both have the privilege level of 0. So I'm going to exit out here and log back in with help desk and Cisco, and you can see it puts me directly into exec mode here. And the only options I have, you can see it's way less than what you would normally have in full privilege 15 mode. Show and controllers, interfaces, IP, that looks familiar. So let's say show IP, show interfaces, fast Ethernet 00, and I can check out that interface. And I can also go into configure terminal mode here. And I believe I forgot one crucial command. This is one thing you have to be really careful with, and you have to take time to set up the accounts and make sure that they're working properly. So I'm going to go back into parser view for tier 1, and I'm going to do a show run just to make sure I've got everything right here, which I can tell you I've missed at least one command. All the way down at the bottom you're going to see the tier 1 profile here. So under interfaces, okay, I wasn't able to view anything under IP, so I'm going to do no commands exec include show IP, and then issue commands exec include all for show IP. And I wasn't able to bring up the interface. Would select an interface under configure mode, and that's because I have no configuration showing to actually allow me to do it from configure mode. So I have to specify commands configure mode include the interface command. So that's going to allow me to actually see all the interface options, which is going to display everything, but the only two that I'll be able to get into are 0, 0, and 0, 1. So we'll back out and get back into enable view for tier 1. Put in the password, and we'll go into configure mode, and I should be able to view interfaces, and there they are. So fast Ethernet, you can see it's 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 2 are available. Let's try and get into 0, 2. It's not going to let me in. It says there's an invalid input detected. That's because this profile doesn't have the ability to get into it. But if I want to get into interface 0, 1, it lets me in since I specified that. So I'm going to exit out here. And you remember what it looked like when I logged in with the help desk. It took me directly to the exec mode, and there wasn't much there. So let's log in as the admin who has a privilege level of 15, and you can see he has everything. That particular profile has access to everything. And if I log in using controller and Cisco. Basically nothing. From here, even if someone is logged in as a controller, they're not going to know the enable secret password, but I do. So I can get in to enable view, which is the root view, and put in my password, and I'm into the root view, so I can do everything from here. And now I'm going to set up the tier 2 account. So I'm going to do parser view tier 2 to create that view. And he's going to have basically everything that the tier 1 view has, and he's going to have some added commands. So we'll go ahead and do commands exec. I'm going to include all show commands for the tier 2. First I need to set the secret password. iOS is very helpful like that. It's going to let you know whether or not something is good to go. Obviously I was not.